06. 25 is a resolution authorizing the county manager to increase the owner's contingency fund for the Kaleideum project to address change orders under the construction manager at risk delivery method. And then he's also going to talk about the amendment to the contract between Forsyth County and Shellco as design builder for the Smith Reynolds Airport new corporate hangar project.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. The item before you is a resolution authorizing an increase to the owner's contingency for the Kaleideum project. At the time the guaranteed maximum price was accepted, in addition to value engineering, the county included a reduced contingency in the amount of $200,000 to facilitate encumbering the GMP. At that time, it was anticipated that future funding may be available to restore the contingency to a customary level and restore some value engineered items to the project. During review of elevator shop drawings, it was discovered that the design documents used for bidding and development of the GMP did not provide adequate structural support for the freight elevator or code required access for maintenance. Additionally, structural loads provided to the construction manager's subcontractor performing the ground improvement scope of work did not include wind and seismic loads. When these additional loads were provided to the subcontractor, they concluded that additional rigid inclusions would be required to support the added loads. Frank L. Bloom, the project construction manager, has provided an order of magnitude cost of approximately $400,000 to address these structural design errors and code requirements on the Kaleideum project. Typically, our owner's contingency is in the 3 to 5% range. For this project, we started out with less than 1% at 0.7% contingency. This resolution seeks Commissioner authorization to increase the project contingency from 0.7% or $200,000 to 3% or $900,000 of the project budget. Additionally, staff is pursuing contractual remedies to recover the added costs from the design errors noted. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Last sentence is what I was interested in. in pursuing because this is an era issue that's not our fault.
Right. Correct.
Additional comments or questions?
So repeat the last thing you said because I really didn't understand all of it. Are we paying it or not paying it?
So we're paying it up front to Bloom, and then we're pursuing through the contract language potentially against the architect's errors and omissions liability insurance.
Why are we paying it at all if it's not our fault?
Really to try to keep the project moving forward. If we try to stop at this point and try to negotiate the final conclusion to that, it throws the rest of the project into sort of a quandary. And so we'll need hopefully we'll get some of it back. We'll certainly be keeping you abreast of what that looks like as we go through it. But it's really trying to keep the project on the rails at this point. My recommendation was to use fund balance. Given what I think I know right now is the year we're in, for a lot of reasons, we'll have a good year in the year we're in financially, and so I felt pretty comfortable with that. So it's really the equivalent of almost a pay-go funding moving into next year.
But essentially, yeah, it allows things to go forward. But I'm exactly with you. I read this in an email to the county manager about that because we're not going to let them off the hook, and hopefully we'll get all of it back. If not, hopefully get all. We may not get all, but we should get a lot back.
Well, I'm not going to call any names, but I will tell you we've done this before and we did not get 1 penny back. So
I just say this one is pretty egregious, and there's no question where the error came from.
Right.
The finger pointing gets pretty small on this one.
And I would just say, Commissioners, I'm happy to discuss this in closed session at a later time if you'd like. We are pursuing legal discussions with all of the parties, and I'd rather not discuss this in open session.